Let's give it a few seconds for everybody to get the stream announcement. Alright, and with that, I think we're ready to start. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first matchup in this 4-digit MWC3 finals. We start off with our first losers bracket match against France versus Philippines, and today I'm co-casting with a good friend from last year in 4DM2, the Meme Thief. How you doing, man?
Hello, I'm fine here.
So today we're gonna have a really interesting match. We saw France have an amazing fight against Brazil last week, and the Philippines struggling against USA and just being able to take that. And now we have these two powerhouse teams going up against each other in the losers round, so this is gonna be quite interesting.
Yep, very interesting indeed. And I was shocked that Philippines won against USA last match. Holy shit!
Right, that was a really close match, and I honestly as well, Philippines, I don't know how they were able to take it.
Yeah.
But it looks like we start off with warm-ups, and this is France's warm-up from Pat. This is looking to be interesting. I think this was supposed to be in a quickly rushed SV map from Pat. Like I think it was like uploaded like 5 minutes ago, which is hilarious. But as much as we can see, all the players still holding it like if it was accuracy. A couple 300s here and there, but not too much information being gained from this map.
But then I have a bad feeling about this. This will be a warm up or something. Or I don't know.
I'm not too sure about a bad feeling. I think this is just like a meme warm-up, but rather than anything, I'm a little worried about how these teams are going to pick their maps, because once we get into the matchup, France could take any side. They could take LN, Rice, SV. Philippines definitely having that SV dominance as well. They could take it as well, but anything could happen, honestly. These two teams are such powerhouses, and they've tried on all maps. Their bans are going to be really special, as they're probably going to be really big outliers on what they just can't do.
Oh, I just noticed that one of the times they had a drop.
Right. Just a small drop though, not too much to worry about, I don't think. After all. SV in a warm-up, quite dodgy, but hey, it's reading. But oh man, as we close out, this is looking really fun. Wow, Eon able to actually hold a really good ratio on that. That's kind of crazy. I guess that's what happens when you make a map that's like uploaded 5 minutes ago.
And looks like the Philippines warm up.
Oh man.
This is gonna be interesting.
And it's mapped by Boji. Thank God it only lasts a minute. I'm severely worried about this.
I'm not gonna spoil anything
Oh god.
for this warm up, but I would say that this is a funny warm up.
Oh Are we in for a treat? Let's wait for all players to ready up and let's get straight into it.
Oh no.
Nope. I thought we were getting right into it right now, but someone's lagging behind. Incredible. Thanks, Pat, for the lesson. I don't really know. I don't know. Chats between teams are, how do I put this? Interesting, to say the least. Alright, finally. Getting straight into it.
Alright, and looks like we're starting now.
Uh... Uh... um... Yeah, sure. Why not? Um...
Oh man, look at the oh my god.
I guess it makes sense for it being 6 stars and only a minute long.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, this...
What the heck is that trails, dude? Oh my god.
I can't believe
That
Silicosens
sounds
is
tricky.
actually able to play this.
Yeah.
Like, this is a little scary, considering he's able to actually play this. Um... Okay, I guess? That's as much as I can say.
One of the teams got trolled because of this song.
Well, let's head into the actual part of this match. And
Alright.
quite frankly, one of the most hype parts, the rolls. Let's see who gets to take this role in this match.
This is gonna be very interesting.
GTX rolling a 13. Very low.
Yep, this is bad from the Philippines.
And was that a 46? Chat is moving way too fast. Yeah, and it looks like France wins the roll.
I just
And somewhere
noticed
in there,
that
whatever.
Philippines never won a roll.
Yeah, 46. Well, now we get to see our bands and what gets eliminated. There are quite a lot of maps that are quite tricky. Both tech picks being very uncomfortable to play, and the SV, you know, if someone gets too bored or doesn't feel like practicing it, honestly is a good ban as well. So we will see. Philippines, first one up, and looks like the band Summer. A relatively good band considering it is featuring a hybrid LN, LN focused hybrid. Lots of tricky patterns. now waiting for France to choose their ban. This is going to be interesting, as Philippines has been known to dominate on the SVs or get pretty good scores. I'm expecting a SV memo ban. And they banned
Oh,
Pop
look.
Up the Bass. What do you think of that, considering they banned reading rather than memo? Well, now we get to see what France gets to choose now. All the Ellens still on the board, a couple of one hybrid, and all the rice picks.
I think they might pick LA for the first round, I guess.
An Ellen start against Philippines would be a, I don't know. These two teams are fairly equal on some of these skill sets, especially SV. Maybe when it comes to Ellen, it'll fare off one side over the other, but I can't tell. Ooh, and they banned the speed map on my own. Oh, I mean, sorry, they'd pick on my own. Ah, I'm slow. Quite the interesting pick as a first choice, it being very stamina draining near the end. And for a first pick, it's going to come down to whether these players are warm or not.
To be honest, I'm not familiar in this map, but we will see about the what we'll see about the difficulty. I will see about the difficulty of this map.
Considering France was able to hold really good accuracy on the stream maps last week, I'm expecting them to perform a lot better than Philippines in this pick. Because Philippines really depends on those FCs rather than accuracy, as we've seen. It's just hard to keep that consistency. With finals being such a hard map pool, it's going to come down to who can FC and who can get good accuracy. Those two are going to be so important for these players. That's not a good sign. No fail being allowed. I'm a little worried that one of the players is gonna fail. Now getting into it, let's see how these players face off on their first official, okay. Who has the point lead?
Okay.
Let's see how these players face off on their first pick.
Alright. And I just noticed Lawrence had no fail mode on. Wonder why.
Lawrence probably struggles on the map a little bit, considering it is really long and stamina draining, being 4 minutes in length and pure speed. I think it's a little longer than 4 minutes. I mean, Yeah, no, a little longer. And after these mini jacks and a couple bit of jump stream, we'll head straight into the chunk of the map. France being able to take up a lead of 500k, or sorry, with 500k right now. This is a very struggling night. Elon Musk dropping sadly, and Limbisol
Oh,
trading.
both of the
Ping as
French team
well.
got dropped.
Now this is turning their pick on its side. Philippines being able to take this lead just by a little bit.
And Ian dropped. That's unfortunate.
This is going to be quite interesting. France now being able to take back the lead after gaining that combo. Elon struggling a lot to still stay consistent. And it doesn't end just yet. We have 2 more streams, twice as long and 3 times as long as the first stream. All players still able to hold it consistently very well. All accuracy staying near that 99 range. Ping being the first one to drop on these streams, dropping again. Not a good outlook. Philippines being able to take the lead. Limbisol giving them more lead.
Reagan, Billy Curtis, and Lawrence keeping up right now.
It is a struggle to keep up, and this last stream just gets even more longer. However, France is not far behind Philippines at all or whatsoever. With Zaken still being able to hold the FC, they still have a chance if they're able to hold their accuracy and consistency just enough. But it also comes down to whether Eon can FC throughout these sections. And the final stream, 3 times as long as the first stream. Zaken missing.
Drop. Oh my god.
No full combos on France team at all. Philippines being able to take this is going to come down to whether they can stick the rest of it.
Then this will drop again. 2 drops again.
Silicosis and Eon though. This is a drop on all teams, but Lawrence is still being able to hold on. Limbisol dropping, Ping dropping once again. Quite a comfortable lead for Philippines, and it's coming down to the end of the map, and it looks like we have our first break point. And Lawrence holding the FC.
Damn. Holy.
Silicosis being able to hold that ratio too. Fighting off Zaken. For a pick from France, this was very risky. Limbisol and Ping was just not able to hold on. Zaken dropping 1 miss, but regardless, if the rest of the teammates would have held on, it would have been a much closer battle. With Philippines in the lead now, they get to choose. Let's see what they choose. Seeing Philippines be Philippines, they could go for SV. Or they could opt for something a little strange. Something like LN, maybe the wild card. Waiting for Philippines' choice. This pick better be strategic. Because, oh man, This comes down to both teams either dipping out of the tournament or advancing into the next losers bracket round. Nerves got to be tough on these players, and looks like we see Lolly fan. I forget, because of Osu censorship, it gets changed.
Oh, just noticed that.
So we head into our dense stream pick, 225 BPM streams, which is yeah, when it's jump stream, that's pretty rough, especially for players like this. It's gonna come down to consistency. Always gotta yell at the teammates to ready up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this map offering a little bit more speed rather than holding on to your combo, unlike the stamina pick, 12 little fragments. This map's gonna come down to these team members trying to accuracy while keeping that balance of just being able to hold combo, because these patterns do not stay light whatsoever.
Alright, and we're starting.
Oh, that's
Oh,
quite a
Ian
weird
with
drop
an
there.
early drop.
Yeah, that's a little too early, but Eon dropping below to a 99, dropping a little bit more, not being able to hold on to these patterns, maybe being a little too fast. But that France is able to take the accuracy and the consistency lead.
When the slow drop in the middle.
But still being able to hold that lead.
Yep.
Limbisol now climbing to that 400 combo. It doesn't look like the lead's gonna shift at all, but it is getting smaller.
Drayton and Philip had a solid accuracy there.
Limbisol dropping once again, and now shifting the lead towards Philippines. With Eon on his feet, being able to hold that combo, he's definitely bringing it back towards Philippines. This is gonna be a rough battle for the third player. Limbisol versus Eon, honestly. And if any other player drops, it's gonna be really detrimental.
Yeah.
Zaken
Drayton
dropping.
drop. Ooh, no.
The phenomenal accuracy is keeping him like up, but regardless of that, that combo break, another one, I really say that's client.
I hope it's flies.
It does not look like client.
Oh no.
There we go, another
Drayton
actual miss
dropped
from Zaken.
again.
This is becoming really rough for France now. Philippines being able to take a really big lead at this point. But Silicos is dropping. And Eon both at the same time. This is France's chance to gain back this lead, but it's going to be a tough one as the map is almost ending. 15% of the map left to go, hardly any notes, and Eon dropping. That score has got to be flickering by the end of the song, and it is Eon dropping once again.
Ian dropped. And
it was just
France will
client.
take the lead.
But he actually drops again after, and heading into the final moments of the map, Zaken dropping, Eon dropping. This is going to be really close coming down.
Oh,
Zaken
another drop
dropping.
of Zaken. And Philippines takes the lead again. Oh my god.
Philippines being able to take that by an unfortunate drop at Zaken right at the end. That is rough. Being so close to take it and losing it all in the end. Philippines now up by 2 points.
Lawrence with another FC again. That's impressive.
Quite indeed, and Ping being able to hold that FC as well. Both those players are holding phenomenal ratio, but wow, Silicosis and Zaken just being able to hold that ratio, but not the combo. Zaken broke a keycap?
Oh no.
That's
That's
insane.
bad. He might change his keybinds for now.
That's unfortunate. Well, Zaken is emergency fixing all his stuff. We will have to see what France chooses. This is gonna be rough for France as they have to counteract Philippines' break point.
They might pick SB at this point. I don't know.
SV would be a really good decision as they've probably practiced being able to ban the rating SV and offering for the memo. And they pick imprinting actually. The release LN is going to be quite interesting to see how they offer on this. Now imprinting is... Go ahead. Well, imprinting is fairly short of a map, being only a minute and 44, but it is a lot of long notes. It is rough as well. Being able to accuracy all those is practically impossible. We will see if these players are able to get close. I think we're all set. I don't know if Satsuko is on France. Yeah, no, he is on France. I don't know. I didn't know if Gerwin and Satsuko were supposed to swap or something because they mentioned it in chat. Oh man, that's rough. Playing in the morning for the enemy team to play later in the day. That's time zones for you. And we get the MP start command. Philippines 4 points away from being able to take this match, and France has to come back with all 6 points still waiting. Quite a lot of maps left to go, but we will see how they offer on their pick. LN release imprinting. And already off the bat, this is going to be a really hard map to accuracy. A lot of inverse, and Limbiso and Satsuko dropping so early. So again, that is rough for being so early in the map.
I think that's the morning effect, I guess.
Right, still warming up, still trying to get up in the morning. It's gonna be really rough for them to come back from this. 2 misses. And Philippines just holding consistent FC. Satsuko dropping again.
Oh no.
German actually dropped a little bit earlier than I see.
Yeah, we didn't notice that.
Yeah, Satsuko's not having a fun time. Barely even able to hold a 98. Limbasol also as well.
That's unfortunate for France.
Very unfortunate. This is a really hard map. But to choose it is a little weird. It's a little awkward.
Yes. Drayton still holding on.
He's trying his best for his team, but Satsuko and Limbasol not being able to hold on as much as they'd like to. And heading to the final 100k notes, or 100k score. There's hardly any map left for France to be able to take it back, and it looks like Philippines is just going to take another break point.
Ian Musk and Lawrence doing a great job on that map. Also Drayton too as well.
Zaken's ratio is so good, but not being able to be supported as much as Philippines is just all-rounded. Gurman dropping 3 times, but regardless of that, he was still able to hold that 99. That's quite rough. Just goes to show how much of a step up these maps can really be from last week. Last week we saw France being able to go up against Brazil and just be able to tie pretty closely on some of these maps. But now it's not about accuracy anymore, it's about holding that combo, holding that consistency, being able to FC. And Philippines just 3 points up, super comfortable lead, able to choose anything they want without too much of a backlash at all. I'm hoping France has a backup plan because it's not looking like these major picks that they're going for are working out just yet. We see the tech pick Passage D. This map is quite crazy to say the least. Absolutely a tough map to accuracy.
This is this is tech map, right?
Yeah, this is the tech map. This should be our first tech map, so it should be a little bit more bursty rather than consistency and mini jack based as Validix map. Waiting the players to ready up. This is going to be quite interesting. France has been able to pull back on accuracy a lot. This map slightly focuses on the accuracy department, but these convoluted patterns are just hard to understand. This is going to come down to whether France can be able to accuracy rather than try focusing on holding full combos all the time. They can a little laggy. Uh,
Just
hopefully
take it
Panic.
into the client.
Yeah, hopefully Panic fixes that. But Eon with the early break already, as we get to see. And now Zaken being able to drop in. And oh man, Eon with the early drop, but all of France have already dropped in this beginning section. I'm still dropping once again. This is not a good pick for France whatsoever. Eon and Zaken trading.
Oh, Ian and Jerwin dropped. And Philippus is escaping up.
Silicosis is trying his best, but Limbisol again dropping a lot. Still holding above that 98 accuracy.
Oh, Silicosis dropped.
Now that's gonna be really detrimental. No one having 400 combo on Philippines. And France is able to take this accuracy lead just a little. Gerwin dropping, making that lead bigger, heading towards France halfway through the map, and this is looking to favor France a little bit, but as we see, some of these misses could be meaning a switch. Zaken Eon ping.
Yeah. There's a lot of droppings going on.
At this point, accuracy just doesn't matter. It's who can hold their combo as much as they can. And it looks like France is able to just hold on as much as they can. Hardly any notes left on the map, and it looks like with 2 misses, the lead being very short. And at the last second, Philippines able to take that once again, right under the feet of France.
Holy. That was so intense, man.
That was quite insane to see. But that's incredible. Philippines being able to take it twice. Just by a couple thousand points. That's insane. Wow. That was a tough map to look at. Just watching all those players drop once again, and oh man. 334 point difference. That's too close for my heart. Oh my god.
So it's the French pick right now, I guess.
France has to choose something good. It's make it or break it. At this point, Philippines is just too close to the win for France to be able to making dumb decisions.
They might pick SB or hybrid at this point.
They've left SV alone for a really long while. I'm expecting that as well. But I'm also expecting stamina to be something they might choose. Being a little bit slower than fantasy, but regardless, it could be hackable for France. But as we wait, we still have our Jack pick, 1 tech pick, the stamina pick, a hybrid rice focus, 2 LNs and an SV. That is quite the variety, I'd say. That's still a lot of maps being able to get chosen. And we go into Phoenix. This is going to be interesting. LN2. Being one of the most densest LN picks we've seen in this tournament. One of the longest, and one of the most brutalist. 4 minutes of constant inverse inverse LN is just gonna be rough on these teams. We've seen Limbisol and Ping play LN earlier. It's gonna be rough for them, but we will have to see how this turns out.
Art that's gonna play, I guess. I'm gonna see this game play.
Looks like Limsol's taking a quick break, so hopefully we get them back soon.
Yeah. 4 minutes of constant pace.
now we see the players getting into it. This is going to be quite the match up. Oh, this is going to be a rough map to watch. If these players are feeling just slight inconsistencies, it's going to get even worse from now on. Okay, apparently the entirety of France still holding 100%. Wow, okay.
Ian with the early drop.
We might see this happen again and again. We're going to see a couple of drops, I know that for sure, but that depends whether these players can hold out as long as they can. Being quite early and the long map.
Being drop.
Yeah.
Another drop again.
But Philippines is able to take that lead even with Eon's drop. Heading to the first break, this is going to be rough. 5,000 point difference. And we still got a lot of map to go. Neon dropping once again. These patterns are no joke. I can definitely see a lot of great dropped. Arcad dropping a couple greats as well. Oh, this disgusting section.
Oh man, yeah.
But all of these players still able to hold on, even Eon. But Arcad
drop.
Only one FC.
France are now leading. Limbo drops and Ian drops once again.
Ping as well. This lead is going to be shifting a little bit more towards Philippines, and it might even switch over. Ping dropping once again, and now that lead is on Philippines' side. Very small and minuscule, but it could mean a lot.
Zayton and Joey still holding on the FC.
A battle between who can hold the FC for longer. Groen has a lot of accuracy with him, and Zaykin is struggling on the accuracy, but holding that FC as much as they can.
Both Zayton and Joey drop. Oh no!
But Zaykin dropping a lot worse than Groen. Arcad also dropping. This is rough. Still having 3 large combos from Limbusel, Ping, and Eon. Ping actually dropping.
There's a lot of dropping going on out there.
With hardly any map left, 15% of the map left to go, Philippines might be able to take this to match point. But with German's miss, this could shift back. Few notes left to go. This is going to come down to these final seconds, and as the map closes off, it doesn't look like France gets a chance. Philippines now taking it to match point 5-0.
Oh.
This is a rough moment for France. We've seen them just be absolutely extraordinary last week, and now they're struggling so much against Philippines.
Yeah. So, picking up again or Philippines again?
Philippines gets to pick now, so this is going to be really interesting. Philippines gets to pick what they choose is the best way to win. And France can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
This is a tough scenario.
You may take one of the rights there.
Philippines might even pick SV at this point. I'm pretty sure they've been practicing that as well.
Yeah.
Oh man. At this point, you gotta be one of the France members and say, you know what? 0-5, so what? Let's bring it back. 6-5. Well, that's only saying it. Doing it, that's a whole different thing. And looks like they go for Rice 1. They head for the stamina pick. You're right. A Rice map.
Yep. Traveler fragment of time. This is a familiar map for me.
Yeah, this is quite linear as well. There's gonna be not too much deviation from the main jump stream pattern, but oh man, considering it's mapped by Shoegazer, it has a lot of weird sections that could drop your ratio at any moment, and it being on 1.05 does not make it any better. Yeah, 231 consistent jump stream is quite tough for these players. We're gonna see who's able to hold out the longest and who's able to hold out that accuracy the most. France is not done just yet. France is struggling as much as they can to take it back. We've seen them be so close, and hopefully this time they'll be able to take a point. Small wait as we see what Philippines is going to be switching RCAT for. We might see GTX being pulled in here, or maybe someone else similar. And we see Lawrence. He's been able to hold out a lot of FCs. Philippines being able to take the solid lineup is probably going to be a good idea for them.
And looks like they're starting.
Now into it. This is the final stand for France, and it's going to be a final stand for a while if they keep winning. But we will have to see if they're able to take at least 1 point now. And France starting off with an early accuracy lead. That was just client. Oh man.
And Limbuso drop.
That was not
The real
client.
drop. Another drop
Dropping
again.
Exactly at the 400 combo. That's gonna hurt France a lot right now. But regardless of that, everybody's still able to hold on to the FC. A couple 200s being dropped on these really awkward jump stream sections, broken jump stream sections. But Lemicel is able to hold on to the ratio. His accuracy is pretty high, tying Lawrence's, but sadly not holding a full combo.
Oh, real drop. Right now, get a chance.
But as they both trade, the lead doesn't shift at all. If anything, it's getting a little bit shorter, heading towards France's side. But as both players get towards that 400 combo, they should be heading straight for the break pretty soon. But Eon dropping once again.
Ian another drop, and France is leading the point right now.
But the lead is now flickering and France taking it just by a slight sliver. Hardly 1k of points. Oh my god.
Yeah. They need they need to they need to improve their accuracy to beat the Philippines at this point. Also holding a net C as well.
You're right. Absolutely. This is gonna come down to just if they're able to hold on over everything. I think even sacrificing accuracy for just an FC would even be better. But this break doesn't last forever. And oh man. France is able to take this lead by a little bit more. The lead just growing just slightly bigger. But this break section is going to end at any moment, and we are going to see how these players fare off on the last section of the stamina pick. Now let us find out if France is able to take this point or not. Being the most densest section, all players are still able to hold on, grabbing a ton of 300s. Hardly any 200s being dropped at all. France needs to stay consistent, and Ping is not consistent, but is still able to hold on. That lead getting shorter and shorter, but still on the side of France. This is gonna come down. Eon dropping now.
Ian dropped at the end, man. And France will take the point.
France is able to hold on just for a little longer, and I think that's it. France is able to take this point. With a miss from Ping and a miss from Eon, France is still able to take it with a lead of 5k points. Hardly anything, but oh man, is France able to take a point? Could this be
Yeah,
the start of a comeback?
I might feel that there's a comeback going on here.
Man, Silicosis, Zaken, Lawrence able to hold those FCs, Ping one miss at the end. Quite sad. And Limbasil with the ratio too. Hardly any maps to be chosen left. The Jack pick, the Tech pick, the Hybrid pick. We still have the SV and one LN left to go. A still large variety of maps to be chosen. And France gets to choose what they're able to play. This is going to be a tough decision, especially for France when they're 1 point away from losing. They have to win all these maps except one in order to take it just to tiebreaker. we having a bit of client issues or no? Zaken pulls out Aura for a second tech pick. This is going to be quite interesting to see how France is able to hold on to another really weird pick. As Aura is like no joke, the patterns are really awkward. Oh man, this has gone from a pretty much close to sweep to France taking a point now. And France has been able to pretty much almost tie up against Philippines on some of these maps, and oh man, is it insane.
Very insane indeed.
And only a few maps left to go. France needs 4 points left in order to get to that tiebreaker, and this is 1 of 4. They've been able to take 1 of 5, so who knows? Looks like we get Gerwin in for this round for Philippines, and the same 3-player lineup for France. This is really rough on them, not being able to switch out players whatsoever. We've seen Satsuko swap in for Limbusol or Ping, but oh man, it's rough. And we head right into it. This is gonna be interesting. On the constant brink of elimination, France has to pull everything out right now. Then holy,
Iran and German with the early drop.
this is gonna be really rough for Philippines. I'm assuming Silicos
And
dropped low.
even the coast is drop. Oh, France might have to take a chance on this.
There is still quite a bit of map left to go, so this could shift towards any side, but actually, I
Oh,
want to see a
Philip,
few of those for client.
the coast is really drop. It's just a client. I thought he dropped.
Right, Gerwin and Eon did drop though. Limbusol also dropping, but 2 drops against 1. France is still able to take this lead, very slight, but it's gonna be a lot considering it's a low no count map. Breaking at 400 combo could mean quite a couple thousand points. And France is gonna need to take every 1,000 points they can get.
You might end up win against. You might win. France might get win because of their accuracy.
Pure accuracy indeed, but Ping struggling to hold that full
And
combo, dropping
drop.
twice now.
Oh no.
Now that lead is getting shorter and shorter. This is going to be quite detrimental for France. 25% of the map left to go. France is on a
And
struggle.
Limbusol
Limbusol,
drop.
Ping. Both of them dropping. Now France only having Zaken on the FC. Silicosis versus Zaken once again. Eon and Gerwin both really close to the FC, but one missed both. They have to hold on for dear life in these last couple seconds of the match. Silicos is dropping. That lead flickering now.
And France takes the point again.
Now 2 points up, 3 points away from being able to take it back to tiebreaker. A good choice from France. Seiken holding the FC, the only FC in the lobby, with a low 200 count to go with it. France might have just gotten their groove, but we have only one rice map left to go. Now we have a
Well,
variety of choices. We have the Jack pick, the hybrid pick, an LN pick, or an SV pick. All of these playing differently from one another.
they might pick SB at this point.
They've purposely been avoiding SV for a while, and I'm questioning why after banning pop up that base.
Maybe they're gonna save it for last. I guess.
Most likely, but Philippines is able to do it at any moment and pretty much take it if they are confident in that choice. Philippines looking to close it out. They're going to have to choose a really good map that France is not going to be able to counteract on at all. And they go for the Ellen wildcard. Dances with Snow Fairies. Now this playing slightly easier than imprinting, I'd say, on the release sections, but it has its own fair share of really weird LN patterns, thus being the wild card. But Philippines has been able to take both points on both LN maps. This is going to be really tough for France to see if they're able to take these LN maps. This is looking to be a real tough battle for France. And they've still been able to hold on as much as they can. And starting any second now. Philippines switching to their Allen lineup while France is staying still the same lineup. No man, is this map quite speedy? This map being quite intense, offering its fair share of rice patterns in between these actual LN inverses, and someone might trip up. All players still have 400 combo, and not a lot of map to go around. This is going to be quite interesting.
And that's Paris. Jerwin dropped 2 times.
That's rough for German. France already had an early lead, but now being able to confirm an even larger lead. Zayken actually dropping. Only once though. And still being able to hold on. German
Jerwin.
more. That's around 70% of the map done. Now on to this ending. And oh man, is this ending rough.
Drop.
Did they both drop on the long, like the triple jack?
I guess so.
And this ending was so
Limbus
brutal.
drop and
Ping, Limbus, Arcat all dropping. The lead slowly getting closer towards Philippines, but there's not enough map left to go around. France being able to take the third point, 2 points away from tiebreaker. No LN maps left. And now we're down to a rice map, the jack map, the hybrid, and the SV.
things are getting a little bit interesting here, and looks like France is waking up.
France is able to just take these now, and oh man, this is what they needed, that's for sure. They needed a confidence booster, and they need it quick. However, it is a still tough and hard climb for France to do it, as they have to play 2 maps. And these 2 maps could mean elimination for them at any moment.
And there goes the tiebreaker copy pasta on the chat.
France is gonna have to think hard about this. They haven't chosen SV yet. The hybrid is questionably difficult. It is very streamy and just bursty. That is really harsh for some players. And then Lost Memory is just consistent, really dense jacks. I don't know if France is able to hold on, or if Philippines is able to hold on to those jacks, as we haven't seen anybody choose it yet. And they go for Lost Memory, the rice map, the final rice map in this pool. If France are able to take this, Philippines comes down with a really tough decision to pick next. But we will have to see as France readies their players up. German out, Arcat, GTX both staying in, it looks like. And Silicosis, it looks like we have our Jack mains being pulled up by Philippines, while France sticking with the same 3 players. Not much difference. Oh man, heading right into it. Waiting for all players to skip. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long, as... Oh my god, this is gonna take a while. Oh sweet. We get right into it, and we start off instantly into the Jack section, actually.
Here we go to the jack.
And we already see a lead towards Philippines, but Arcat
Oh,
dropped.
Arcat dropped 2 times.
That is a really large drop and a really big lead that France needs in order to take this point. Crusoe
Limit will
dropping,
drop.
but only once. Not as bad as Arcat.
Yeah.
And being able to ride this little break section for perfect 300s.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Silicos is he dropped
On a slightly easier section, but this is still just the beginning. We have another section right after this.
thing keeping up his accuracy.
Zakin's just able to stay in it.
Go to the low part again.
If we saw Limbusol and Arcat dropping earlier, they're probably going to drop once again as this second section gets much denser than before. Silicos is dropping just before the actual main section, and we're going to see who's able to
Yep.
as much as they can.
France might. France want. France. I just forgot. I hope France didn't drop on this stage, or else Philippines will take the point.
But Zakin's
And
going
look,
to drop. And they're actually able to hold on to it. Silicos is dropping after the actual dense section, and France is able to take it. Another point for France. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a TB incoming?
oh, this. Alright. At this point, they will pick SD because this will be because it will be interesting.
This has to be a choice on SV. There's no way.
Both Ping and GTX got a solid accuracy in FC.
Oh man. Holy Ping's having like an amazing accuracy. What the heck? So, do we see Philippines go for SV, or do we see the hybrid pulled out of nowhere? This is gonna be interesting. Oh man, the suspense. Online telling them to pick wisely. Come on, dude. Too much pressure. You're gonna mentally break them down. They've lost 4 points in a row, and they've been struggling to take this last point. And what?
They picked the hybrid one. Oh,
Citadel being taken out of nowhere. Door into Summer not being chosen whatsoever.
hmm.
We like to think we have some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear.
Now, this hybrid being bursty as hell and being an average length, this is gonna become. This is literally do or die for France. We've seen them pull 4 points out of nowhere back from Philippines, and now they have to do it one last time. One last time to get it to the tiebreaker, and that tiebreaker is gonna decide whether Philippines advances or France advances. This is interesting as hell. And quite scary to be frank.
We live in a collective
the one map to bring it to tiebreaker. Let's see if France is able to pull it somehow.
Have some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or
What's
quietly.
happening to Joe?
Most people can't even
Is
decide
this the client again?
which burger to eat.
Probably Klein just being a little slow.
Timing is an illusion.
This makes me a little worried.
We like to think
Now, let's see. Back where we left off, it looks like Zaken really did miss and it was not Client. And now onto the main section. This being our rice-focused hybrid. This is going to come down to who's able to hold on to the
Oh,
really
Lawrence
seconds.
drop!
And Lawrence being able to give Zaken the points back from what he missed, and Ping dropping.
collective paranoia. People depending on each other's errors to control and exploit.
This is a really harsh pick for France, but just a harsh enough pick for Philippines to struggle on. France might have this if they're able to hold on as much as they can. This gap is not.
Ping with another drop again.
Eon dropping. That lead is getting shorter and shorter. However, Philippines is still able to hold the lead, and now we're heading to the final 25% of the map. This is gonna come down to everything. Limbisol dropping, already not a good sign for France.
Yeah.
And
And
Zaken dropping,
drop.
Ping,
Oh,
the entirety
no.
of France dropping.
And what's gonna end?
This is already not looking good whatsoever. And hardly anything left to go. Philippines in the final moments, in the last match, is able to take it back, bringing it down to 6-4. France so close to taking it to tiebreaker, falling short at the last step.
That was an intense match.
Quite intense indeed, and a big GG to both of these teams. France being able to pull it back from 5-0 to 5-4, sadly falling at the end, and Philippines able to take the win. Oh man, crazy. And now with Philippines winning, they move on into the next round. Well, the next losers round, I guess. Facing off against Netherlands versus Thailand. Depending on who wins that match, Philippines will have to fight off against them in order to book their spot into the grand finals round. Finals week 2. They'll be in the losers final if they're able to win.
Wonder who's gonna win on the Netherlands versus Thailand.
That is going to be quite an interesting match as well.
To be honest, I'm waiting Philippines and Netherlands to fight off each other. That will be interesting.
Very. Netherlands being knocked down from last round, so they're showing lots of strength. And not to mention, we still have our star match, Brazil versus Malaysia. Yeah, but stay tuned. Netherlands versus Thailand in an hour, and tomorrow we should have Brazil versus Malaysia. Well, looks like that'll be it. That'll be it from us. I've been Ant Hunter, co-commentator, Meme Thief.
This is here. And we will stay tuned for the next match.
Take care, everyone.